I'm sitting on my sofa, it's 9 p.m., and I don't know what to do. I worked until about 8 p.m. again today. It's not a very strenuous job, but it ends pretty late. It's pretty well paid, so I'm not complaining. What I find a pity is that I can't enjoy my 2 daughters, aged 4 and 6. When you become an adult, the reality of life hits you, and you realize that you have to make sacrifices. I could have a normal job, of course, and come home at 6 p.m. and spend 2 more hours with my 2 little monsters. But the bills aren't going to pay themselves, and in the country I live in, life isn't exactly cheap. Today again, like every other day of the week, I got home around 8:30 p.m., and today again it was the same deal as usual. And today again, as I was getting out of the shower, I heard my wife and 2 daughters upstairs making a fuss. My daughter's bedroom is just above the living room, so it's not unusual for me to hear my daughters walking, laughing, or being scolded by Mom. When I come home, I'm careful not to make too much noise. The reason is simple. If my daughters know I'm home while my wife is trying to get them to sleep, they'll get excited and take even longer to sleep. My daughters are the happiest sweethearts in the world. They love to laugh and have fun, and we can't leave them alone in the evening before going to sleep. Otherwise, it would be a real mess upstairs. Hence, my wife usually stays with them for an hour or so, telling them stories, reading them books, or singing their favorite songs. If I were to show my face during this sacred ritual, everything my wife has built up would crumble, and neither I nor my wife wants our daughters to fall asleep at 11 p.m. or even midnight. That's why I usually stay downstairs in the living room, waiting for my daughters to go to sleep. I eat alone, tidy up any toys lying around, and do the dishes. The noises made by my wife and daughters are so familiar that I no longer pay attention to them, but I know they're there. Footsteps on the floor. I think the eldest is heading for the bathroom. A book dropped. I think the youngest did it. Mom grumbling. The 2 crazy little girls still won't go to sleep. Today again, my wife gives everything she's got to get our girls to sleep. But today is Friday, and tomorrow we're spending the day at Granny's. Saturday at Granny's is a kind of redemption for us. We forget all the tiredness of the week and have the best time ever. Even the cousins come. What I found strange was the time it took my daughters to fall asleep today. Probably the excitement of the fact that they'll be able to have fun all day at Grandma's tomorrow. I turned on the TV and kept the volume very low. And today again, the ritual was in full swing upstairs. I love my girls, but I started to feel a little annoyed by the situation. Oh, my phone's ringing. Another peculiarity of the ritual. My wife rings my phone twice to let me know that the girls are asleep and I can come upstairs. But today, 3 rings, 4 rings, 5 rings. I pick up the phone. Why won't you pick up? You always ring twice. What are you talking about? Never mind. Are they asleep? Can I come up? What do you mean? The girls were so overexcited today that we went to Grandma's around 7 p.m. We're going to be there all night, so I wanted to give you a heads up. I couldn't call earlier. You know your girls. They were glued to YouTube on my smartphone in the car. Today again, the ritual is happening upstairs, in my daughter's bedroom. But today, for the first time, I'm alone in the house, and I'm petrified. I was petrified, but I was aware that sitting on the sofa doing nothing was neither the solution, nor something I could do indefinitely. I tried to calm down, to rationalize, and of course I thought it was my wife's big joke. On Friday nights, the whole family is usually merry, so it's not a possibility to rule out. I took one last sip of coffee and decided to take the bull by the horns. It was obviously my wife's joke, or rather the elder daughter's idea, and I decided to go along with it. I grabbed 2 objects from the closet to spice up my riposte. One was the killer's mask from the movie Scream. The other was an ordinary broom. Dressed in my armor and armed with my broom, I began to walk slowly up the stairs, one by one, trying not to make any noise. But the problem with wooden stairs is that they creak. No matter how hard I tried not to make a sound, one step, a treacherous one, made a loud noise. Ah, shit. I could hear the eldest giggling. "Daddy's coming! Daddy's coming! Hide!" So much for surprise. But I didn't give up, and waited for several seconds to pass before resuming my run. Finally reaching the last step, I was only a few meters from the door to my daughter's bedroom. I could see a filter of light protruding from the bottom of the door, and then I could hear the youngest giggling in turn. "In the closet! Into the closet! Quick! Just you wait!" I knew that when I opened the door, I wouldn't see anyone, but I also knew that my two daughters would be sure to chuckle again, knowing that I was entering their fortress. And they did. The moment I opened the door, I could hear my two naughty girls giggling in the closet. They're good at pulling pranks in theory, but on the field, they're out of practice. I continued to play along and moved towards the closet door, always careful not to make any noise. The fateful moment had arrived, the moment of glory, the culmination of a happy Friday night with the family. I felt all the stress of the week melt away at the thought of them screaming in fear when I opened the door with my broomstick and scream mask. 3, 2, 1. Mwahahaha. I draw on the depths of my strength to let out a psychopathic laugh as I yank open the closet door. I'd felt fear before in my life, watching a good horror movie or when my youngest daughter nearly got run over by a car 2 months ago. But what I felt at the sight of the completely empty closet wasn't fear. It was terror, a terror that petrified me all over again. In this kind of situation, rationalizing is impossible, and 1,000 obscure thoughts run through your mind. There was no logic, no possible explanation. Either I was going mad, or there had to be a plausible explanation. I hoped with all my heart that my wife, my eldest or my youngest, would come out of another hiding place and put an end to this moment of terror. But no one. Absolutely no one. No one was home but me, armed with my broom, but having now removed my scream mask. After spending a few minutes searching the house from top to bottom and making sure no one was home, I automatically headed for my smartphone. My wife is obviously the person I called to ask for an explanation. No answer, even after several attempts. Same for my messages, no answer. I tried to call Grandma, but one of my daughters had to put the phone on mute and must be watching YouTube. I've explained to them how to pick up the phone when they receive a call, but they know how to ignore the call and go straight back to YouTube. Grandma picked up after 3 rings with a slightly sleepy voice. "Hello?" she said. "Hey, it's me, Jeremy. Can you put Helen on the phone for me?" "You poor bastard." "Excuse me? Do you really have nothing better to do? What the hell are you talking about?" "Just so we're clear once and for all, as I told you at the funeral 2 months ago, I forbid you to call me. You do not call me. You do not contact me. You do not come to our house. Next time I'm calling the police, you sick bastard." She hung up. I'm past the stage of petrification. I'm now on the verge of a panic attack.